Hey everybody, this is Lynn from A Bit of Birdsong, and I wanted to share some animal acrobatics that went on in the backyard yesterday. I put out some cornbread for my crows. The little squirrel finally found it, but he or she never did really eat any. And she goes to the end of the boards, and something must have scared her. But I want you to see how far she jumps. And after the squirrel leaves, one of my crows comes in. Just watch the landing it makes. Did you like that jump? That was so cute. Right after the squirrel left, the crows started to come in and they visited all afternoon. That first crow flying in and landing on the boards and then jumping down to the ground, it reminded me so much of a gymnast. It's interesting to me how these animals seem to know what they want. The crow came in, and I really thought that the crow would like the cornbread, but it immediately took a French fry first, and later they finished off the cornbread. But later in the day, I was feeding some of the deer that come through, and the deer actually went all around a few French fries that were in the yard and picked up the pieces of cracker that were out there. I know they like the salt, so maybe that had something to do with it. So this little doe came in, and she was very sweet. She didn't seem really scared. Of course, I couldn't just walk right up to her, but she seemed to be checking out this kind of strange set of wind chimes that I have, and they're made from all sorts of things that I've picked up here and there. And she bumps into it and then takes off running. I thought that was really cute. But she came back and she actually got really, really close to me, and that was so sweet. She is the one who definitely preferred the crackers.
You like crackers? That's a sweet girl.
I am up early this morning before I have to start work because yesterday I printed some pictures of my favorite little crow friend. And I want to put some things in my boho bird journal. I think this is my favorite one. I wish I knew if this was a male or a female. I need to read more about how to possibly tell the difference. I cut this picture down though because it was kind of big. These still have the border around them, but I wanted this one to be kind of front and center. So I'm going to put it right there. I always want to say her, but I'm really not sure if she's or he's or it is a male or a female. And I'm going to make a few notes just about some things. I think I want to cut this one down too a little bit and put it just a small piece on that pocket. I don't want to cover up the whole pocket because I do like the bright color. I just love that. I really don't want to even cut part of the tail feathers off, but it gives me a little piece for the front of that, and I really like that. So my trusty tacky glue, and you stay right there. Okay. I like to keep this tacky glue sitting upside down in one of my little yogurt jars. This wee yogurt, oh, those are the best containers. They're so good for keeping things in. How do I want to attach this? I may just put a paper clip on that, but I don't know. I do like it right there in the front. I wonder, but I don't want to mess the picture up. You know, I am always looking for vintage ephemera and paper, as you all know, and one of the things that is so challenging, and I don't want to say disheartening, because people were doing what they wanted to do with their paper, but when you find a scrapbook or a journal from, say, the early 1900s, and everything's been glued down, and you can't take it out, and it's front and back, so, and especially when things had been written, like names had been written on the backs of the pictures, and they're glued down, and you can pull off just enough to realize that there's a lot that you can't see. So I really want to attach that somehow, but I guess this will be, I like the black paper clip. And I keep wanting to call that bird Molly. I don't know why. So I need to make a few notes. I will do that off camera. Oh, and something else that I had. Some beautiful little pieces from the papers that that were sent to me in the Happy Mail from Ava. And where did I see this little bird? Oh, how sweet. I kind of like it right there, but I'm not sure. Anyway, I pulled some of the bird things out to go in here. Look at that. That's so pretty. Oh, sleepy. I don't want to work today. That's pretty. Oh, I just love this journal. And don't forget, I do have a listing for custom journals, the boho bird journals. Very, very good price, and it's because, of course, they're just one signature, but a lot of fun to work with and look at, and full of all sorts of things from my collection of papers. And that listing is in my shop. I guess I will stop here, and I will show you what I end up doing with these other pictures. Okay, so I wanted to show you what I ended up doing in my beautiful journal. I did end up just paper clipping this awesome picture of my sweet crow right in the front. I don't really mind that paper clip there, and I may think of something a little more creative. Maybe I will find like a really cool metal clip that I can use on the front, maybe something even that has a bird on it. But for now, this is good. I didn't want to glue it down. These two cards, of course, are still reserved for journaling. This is from the other day, a little story, and that was on my dad's birthday. I think I mentioned that. It's so nice to have these little cards throughout that you can just pull out and journal on. And I will just share a thought or two about this type of journal. You know, I've journaled for years and years, and I mostly bought, you know, the spiral bound or hardback journals that were full of just blank paper. And sometimes there would be maybe a little embellishment in the corner or whatever. But my method was to just write on those pages and then glue or paper clip things in. Journals like this are gorgeous. They have so many images already in them, they're delightful. I mean, you wouldn't have to put anything in these. But when I first started doing these journals and looking at journals like this, I thought, well, how in the world would you actually write every day? And I think that's why some people get into having multiple journals. This is just my bird journal. It's meant to be fun. It's meant to be full of images. It's just meant to put ephemera and pictures and little note cards into. Plus there are pages you can write on, you know, that I included some of those pages. This is a little bird that came in the pack of the beautiful Happy Mail that Ava sent me. I added that this morning, and there is a card that she sent me as well. I put that in because I'm planning to use that for journaling. And then you can see I put this beautiful picture here of the wingspan. And I put Glorious Wingspan, June 2018, C tail feathers equals a crow. So, and I actually went to one of my bird books that I pull pages out of, and I took out the pages about the crows. And this does show the difference between the crow and the raven. And you can see maybe even in this picture how the tail feathers of the crow, they're a little bit more rounded, I guess, or shaped like a fan. The ravens are longer in the center, so it's more of a wedge shape. And the raven looks a little rougher, the feathers do. But I went ahead and included this page of the blue jays as well, and the magpies, because they're all in the Corvidae family. So I saved those. I wanted to keep that right there for my journal. And here, this picture, and it's one of the reasons I love keeping these little fine tip Sharpies around. I just wrote right on the back of this picture, I have just fallen in love with this beautiful crow, not sure if male or female. It visits regularly for treats that I leave out, and I believe it is getting used to my whistle. I love how it sits with its mouth open. So that's a good memory for this little crow, or big crow I should say. I think that's all I've done up to this point, except of course glue in this little image here. So this is a fun journal just to pull out and make little notes in on a regular basis. It doesn't have to be every day. These journals are meant to be beautiful, fun keepsakes. I think these journals kind of turn into ephemera on their own. I know ephemera is something that's not meant to be around forever, but journals like this, you know, one day I won't be here and this will be left behind, and hopefully somebody in my family. It's funny how sometimes children don't want things like this, but maybe nieces or nephews or cousins or whatever would say, oh no, I'm interested in that. I know it was that way with some of the things from my generation and my parents' generations. Maybe the children of some of my aunts and uncles weren't interested in certain things, or maybe great aunts and uncles is more what I'm thinking. But then I was very interested, so I inherited some pictures and things because I was always asking questions and always taking notes and always showing interest. But that's what I mean, I guess, by this could become a piece of ephemera. So that's it for today. I'm going to get busy working, and I will see you next time. Bye.